This is a list of the top 100 best-selling PS4 games and an analysis of that list. So now that we're pretty far along into the 8th generation of video game consoles and PS4 is currently leading the market with 80 million systems sold worldwide, I thought now would be a good idea to look at the best-selling games on PS4, more specifically the top 100 best-selling games, and not only understanding the buying habits of gamers today, but also looking at what developers are doing, what publishers are doing, and what they're focusing on the most. With that said, before we get into the actual list and data that follows, it's worth mentioning that this list is not 100% concrete. Most publishers and developers will disclose their retail and their digital sales, but of course everything's subject to change, and certainly there is a margin for error that must be accounted for, so there could be a situation where a game is where it shouldn't be, or as you're watching this, it's not 100% up to date. In fact, this list does not include Spider-Man PS4. That just recently released, and we know it's sold well over 3 million copies at this point, so it would have a place on this list, but we don't have exact numbers, and therefore it's not placed in here just yet. And once it would be, you would see where it would possibly end up going, and of course number 100 would be knocked down to 101. But this is as up to date as it can be right now in October 2018. Now that we got that out of the way, let's get into the actual list, starting off with number 100. Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Ninja Storm 4, Mass Effect Andromeda, Tekken 7, Persona 5, Rayman Legends, Tomb Raider 2013, Kingdom Hearts 1.5 plus 2.5 Remix, NBA 2K14, Injustice 2, Nier Automata, Wolfenstein The New Order, The Order 1886, For Honor, Titanfall 2, Rocket League, The Crew, Until Dawn, Middle-earth Shadow of War, The Evil Within, Knack, Need for Speed Payback, LEGO Marvel Superheroes, The Elder Scrolls Online, Rise of the Tomb Raider, Dishonored 2, Just Cause 3, Little Big Planet 3, No Man's Sky, Uncharted The Lost Legacy, Battlefield Hardline, Need for Speed Rivals, Destiny the Taken King, Madden NFL 15, Ratchet & Clank 2016, Dark Souls 3, Dragon Age 3 Inquisition, Drive Club, Dying Light, NBA 2K15, Madden NFL 18, Diablo 3, Doom 2016, Need for Speed 2015, Far Cry Primal, Mafia 3, Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, Infamous Second Son, Bloodborne, Killzone Shadowfall, Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands, Metal Gear Solid 5 The Phantom Pain, The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim, Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor, NBA 2K18, Madden NFL 17, Madden NFL 16, Watch Dogs 2, Mortal Kombat X, Gran Turismo Sport, FIFA Soccer 14, NBA 2K17, Assassin's Creed Syndicate, Far Cry 5, Destiny 2, Assassin's Creed Origins, Battlefield 4, NBA 2K16, Monster Hunter World, Far Cry 4, Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege, Batman Arkham Knight, Assassin's Creed Unity, Call of Duty Ghosts, Star Wars Battlefront 2 2017, Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy, Watch Dogs, Overwatch, Tom Clancy's The Division, God of War 2018, Final Fantasy 15, The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, Horizon Zero Dawn, Uncharted The Nathan Drake Collection, Destiny, Minecraft, FIFA 15, The Last of Us, Battlefield 1, Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, and going into our top 10 list, Star Wars Battlefront 2015 with roughly 8 million copies sold, number 9 with FIFA 16 with 8.2 million copies sold, number 8 with Fallout 4 with roughly 8.3 million copies, Call of Duty Infinite Warfare with 8.3 million, number 6 is Uncharted 4 A Thief's End with 10 million copies sold, FIFA 17 with 10.9 million, FIFA 18 with 11.6 million, number 3 is Call of Duty World War II with 13 million, number 2 Call of Duty Black Ops 3 with 15 million, and number 1, Grand Theft Auto 5 with 18.4 million copies. And those are the top 100 best-selling games on PS4. Now, that's not entirely easy to digest. We can draw certain conclusions based on all that, But let's get a better breakdown of all that, shall we? So, new IPs, for example. These would be games that just started on the 8th generation of video game consoles, and that would be 16. And it would be 20 total if you're counting sequels to those new IPs that began on PS4 and Xbox One. This is also including expansions like, for example, Destiny the Taken King. It sounds like there was a lot of sports games, but they were really just more so on the upper echelon of that list. There were 14 total sports games. How about remakes, remasters, and ports? You may be thinking that there's a lot here, but there's 9. It may seem like there's a lot, and certainly you could say that that's 9% of the total list, but 9 games total. How many of these games are exclusive to PlayStation 4? That would be 17. And perhaps the most alarming metric of all of this is that sequels, expansions, and games in the same universe. I, of course, had to look at this with a little bit of discretion in terms of what would be counted here, but certainly if it was a numbered game, it would be a sequel. If it was an expansion, that's self-explanatory. If it was a game in the same universe, so it wasn't necessarily numbered, but let's say it was Battlefield 1 or Need for Speed, I accounted for all those, and we're looking at 58 games total. 58, a staggering number. I just want to make it perfectly clear, I did have to recount some of these a few times, because I had ended up getting different numbers, and then I had to recount to make sure I had the same number every time, and then I would take a game out because I just felt, that didn't count, or then I would add one because I go, that did count. So keep in mind, give me some margin for error here. But what's very alarming about this data, and it's kind of been a reoccurring theme in the games industry for a long time now, it's not really news, but it's that the games industry is quite afraid of taking risks. We see a lot of sequels, we are still playing in the same universes. Over and over again, the same ones that we've been playing in now for 20, 25, 30 plus years. And while we do see new IP accounting for 16% roughly of a 100 game total here, you're already seeing these games get sequels and expansions. Now you may think, there wasn't that many sports games on there, but you also have to consider that they took up a vast majority of the sales, as most of them were up to the top of the list. Now, if you're the kind of person that does follow video game news quite frequently, you sometimes see how often games get ported or remastered or remade, and you just anecdotally see just how often it happens, but what we can draw from this list is that people are really only buying the very best. So while we do get a lot of remasters, remakes, and ports, only 9 of them really made it into this list, and you are seeing the very best ones. Crash Bandicoot coming back, The Last of Us, and of course Grand Theft Auto 5, which is a force to be reckoned with, as the game has substantial pull on so many gamers for not only being an incredibly fun game, but keeping it sustained with the multiplayer over the years. Now, while Sony does have a pretty impressive footprint in the top 100 games, with 17 games being on this list, well, really 18 once Spider-Man does get added into the mix, a list like this still further highlights that when you get to the upper portion of the list, it's still mostly third-party games. Which is why so many hardware manufacturers are more concerned with making your console the primary place where you play games, not just for exclusives, but everything. And quite honestly, if I'm being fair, despite backlash,
sports, Call of Duty,
gamers still like their Call of Duty and sports. And then what was number 10 on that list again? Yeah, I remember that game causing a huge shitstorm with people on the internet. This is where people aren't going to like the video. I think the conclusion we can draw from this list is that, man, sometimes gamers are big hypocrites. But really, all jokes aside, this is a top 100 list. You're going to see a lot of big budget video games on here. Essentially, most of them are, and that's the biggest problem, is that they just want to keep doing sequel after sequel, and publishers are so afraid to take major risks on brand new ideas. And while I love independent developers that always love to try different things and do new IP and try to reinvent the wheel, I'll always appreciate those games. But if you look at the upper echelon of games being put out today and the kind of games that people are buying, you're just not seeing very many new things. I think that's still one of our biggest problems today. It's been a problem for a while in the games industry, and I dearly hope that it will be fixed. And if you like video games, try and step out of your comfort zone and try something new every once in a while. That's it for me in this video, and if you haven't already, subscribe for the best PlayStation news, reviews, and updates here on YouTube, and I will see you all in my next video. Thank you so much for watching, and you take it easy.